Good evening, and thanks for the invite to speak tonight. This is only a taster. It's I think the idea that we spoke about with Roger is that next year we might go into more detail about the conceptual basis for the piece of work that is being commissioned. Today is really just to explain, I suppose, and to say that there is this piece that has been commissioned. There's a maquette on the table here. And it's a project that's extremely exciting. So people from Dún Laoghaire would be familiar with the baths, and maybe even people from beyond Dún Laoghaire, this iconic site beside the sea, which has been quite, I suppose, derelict for many years, and which is now actually being reconstructed. And the project, just to explain the context for the piece of sculpture, is going to keep the existing little pavilion. It's going to have a working space for artists. It'll have a gallery. It'll have lifeguard huts. But most importantly, it's also going to have a new route going from Newtown Smith to the East Pier, and swimming facilities that's accessible off the route from the People's Park. But just what we thought about was that this is the first time a new pier, I suppose, has been built out into the bay, and it's always been a location that we thought would be extremely dramatic for some kind of a memorial. And the end of the pier, this pier is quite a substantial piece. It's going to go out into the water, and at the end of the pier, there's going to be a new plinth for this casement memorial statue. So this is the last slide, and it's just to say that it is an extremely significant commission. It may be one of the first times the council has directly commissioned a piece. It emanated out of a memorials committee, which is a cross-party committee within the council, honouring Casement, who was obviously lived in the area. It's a significant budget for a piece, so it's over 150,000 euros. And it came about through a two-stage selection process that was managed and curated by Visual Artists Ireland. So there was I think 40 applicants who were shortlisted down to I think a final shortlist of 3. So the winning artist is Mark Richards, and it's going to be a 1.5 life-size bronze. Mark Richards is a very, very fine sculptor, and his 2 known pieces in this country are the Shackleton Memorial in Athy and the Nicky Rackard piece in Wexford. So the good news is that it is actually underway. The first pieces are being made in the foundry as we speak. You can see the size of it. It's going to be 1.5 on top of a plinth. It's a 1.5 life size, which is going to be over 2 meters, on a plinth that's about 4 meters high. So this is going to be a very dramatic piece sitting out in the middle of the bay. And it's going to be an extremely interesting piece when you get a high sea or whatever breaking out over it. You know? So I think next year we're going to speak more about the actual conceptual basis for the design and so on, and I think that'll be quite an interesting discussion. And at that stage, the piece will be actually coming to fruition. So that's it, and I wish you the best for your school.